Welcome to Sacred Rebels podcast, where we discuss life after trauma as we question societal norms and shatter stigmas. Are you a woman who longs for a sense of community and understanding? Well, stick around. There is a seat for you here. This is your host, Tay.
And co-host, Amy.
And we're just two best friend millennial moms and entrepreneurs navigating life and motherhood while on a spiritual healing journey.
We don't do surface level, and we're definitely not your typical moms, so let's dig deep. We plan to cover it all and take you behind the scenes as we share our personal experiences, learn more about the holistic side of healing, and introduce all the incredible humans we've met along the way.
Join us as we share the good, the bad, and the ugly side of healing. We hope to help you step into your power. Thanks so much for listening.
I usually like to do a little intention setting before we start
Cool.
any podcast. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I might just close our eyes. Taking a deep breath in and releasing with a sigh. Taking 2 more deep breaths in, taking another deep breath in. Releasing with a sigh. And one last time, allowing this breath to be the biggest breath you've taken today, filled with so much love. Releasing with a sigh. And here, I just invite all of us to feel a light about 300 feet above our heads, showering us in a golden white light, showering us in love, in light, in protection. And with this light, we begin to feel our cells soaking it up, so much so that we begin to feel our heart space, feeling our heart beating. Feeling our infinite power coursing through our veins. And even if we can't quite feel it, that's okay. Just knowing that it's there. And using this power from our heart, from within, to create an intention for this podcast session today. My intention is to be of service. My intention is that every single person who watches this, every single person who gets to connect to this in some way, they feel a beautiful healing energy that begins to help them release something they need to release or to receive something that they need to receive. A healing energy or something that's blocking them or stopping them from being their truest self, and using our ability to storytell to really inspire someone today, inspire many or one, whoever and whatever needs to happen. I have the intention of truly being of service in this moment, and however we can be of service at the highest vibrational level today, we just open ourselves up to be that channel. Do you guys have any intentions you want to add?
That was so beautiful. No.
Okay, perfect.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, to just stay with an open heart and open communication to heal the masses, baby.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was so beautiful.
And you can bring yourself back whenever you feel ready.
Love that.
I just think it's so important to have like a pure intention.
I love that. I literally want to add it. I might not even edit that out. Seriously.
You totally can.
Okay. All right, ready?
Yeah, just introduce her. We took our deep breath. Keep it in there.
Okay. All right.
We go with the flow. But,
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Sacred Rebels. As you can tell, we already did our intention setting and deep breath, which I love so much. And we have Cassidy Amber Chapman here. She is a wellness entrepreneur, and she is the author of this book, Vibrancy Codes. It was our book club book for the month. And it was amazing. And it's a guide to vibrant health and vitality. And it was just so good.
Oh,
So
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
And she also pulled our card. So we're going to have her read our card.
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited. I don't even know what it is.
So
I know. It's a
I
good
got
one.
Visions of Life Beyond Death, which is card 44, of course. Like 4 is my number. So
Really?
it was just the fact that it was 44. I was like, yep, that makes
love
sense.
that.
That's so wild. The number 4, like there was a big thing that happened in my world yesterday, and the number 4 was the big catalyst of that. So that's very
Really?
So of course,
Fitting.
it's fitting.
I just felt alignment as soon as I walked in. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's alignment
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
All of it.
It's happening.
Do I read the...
Yeah, so you can just read what kind of like jumped out to you.
Well, the second line was what really spoke to me the most, was you are becoming blessed with the ability to truly see. And then there's been some synchronicities.
Like, stop. So good.
I've been really connecting to some signs. Like my ability to see signs and my ability to receive messages in my dreams have become
I read that through your book. I love that. I love that you're very in tune with your dreams, because I am like the same way.
It's gotten even crazier.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's gotten even crazier, and especially in the last like 2 days. So it's just, just picking this card was just like, wow. It's one of those things of really bringing sight back.
Yeah.
Or not just back, but like it's feeling like it's being amplified.
Yeah, or confirmation. Like, yes, this is real. Yes, you are receiving all the signs and messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm making some big, bold moves soon.
Yeah.
And so just knowing that that's like, it's just another confirmation.
Yep.
Which is really, really cool for me.
Love that.
And
Yeah, and being affirmed. You're like, all right, affirmative.
Yep.
I got it.
Heard
Thanks,
you.
universe. Heard it. And it's like, yeah, like it's like grounding, like putting you down.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, we are connected. We are all connected. And if you just open your eyes for a second, you will see the world completely different. And the signs will just come in. Mm-hmm. And then you also won't second guess it and be like, yeah, I need a signier sign.
I need a signier sign.
That's my fave.
Best meme ever.
well, what's really funny is lately I always write down the synchronicities that happen throughout the day, but lately I've been like writing the exact story of how every sign is coming through, and it just feels also aligned. So
I love that.
yeah, really cool.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your story and what brought you into this wellness lifestyle and becoming, an author of a beautiful book and all the things.
Well, let's be honest. It comes from the dark, right?
Yeah, pain.
The pain. And I know you were able to read some of the story. It really started around 11 years or so ago, or maybe it's 12 now. I don't know. Time goes by really fast now.
Yeah, it does go by very fast.
And I know that some people have heard this story, but it's so important because this is where it all started.
Yeah.
And during that time, I started to have mystery medical symptoms. So I had gained over 50 pounds in under 3 months, eating less than 500 calories per day.
I know, I read that. That's wild.
At the time, I really didn't understand that was possible.
Yeah.
And again, I learned later it was about microbiome and things like that. Your microbiome has a lot to do with weight gain, instead of just about calories in, calories out. I had vertigo all the time, and I was experiencing all of these symptoms that really changed the quality of my life. And I would go to doctor after doctor, test after test, and they kept telling me that I was fine, that I was all right, or that I was all in my head. Mm-hmm. Or I was accused of closet eating because no one could believe that I was eating that much and gaining weight so rapidly, right? And after 2 years of that, going in and out of doctor's offices, seeing every specialist you can think of, right? And I even had the privilege to be able to do that. And I finally found a doctor who would prescribe me medication that drastically helped with the symptoms. And I'm so grateful for this doctor. I'm so grateful for this medication. However, it was suppressing the symptoms. And I gratefully suppressed the symptoms for 5 years. I got to do what I wanted to do at that time. But after the 5 years of symptom suppression, I had a health crisis. And this is where I felt, I even get emotional talking about it still, because it was one of those times in your life where you're just like, because this was real for me. It's real.
Of course.
In this health crisis, I had such unbearable physical pain that I felt like knives were ripping me open from the inside out.
It's terrible.
It felt like it was just unbearable physical pain. Severe, unbearable physical pain. And the physical pain had gotten so bad that I started having panic attacks because I was so afraid of the physical pain I was in. And then the panic attacks had gotten so bad that they would wake me up in the middle of my sleep. Like, I would be in a dead of sleep and wake up all of a sudden in a panic attack. And I remember one particular night where I had woken up in a panic, and I didn't want to wake up my family anymore because they had been up with me like day in, day out, and it was just never-ending pain. And I remember just taking a pillow and screaming into it. And I looked up at the ceiling and I was just like, God, please don't wake me up tomorrow. It was one of those moments where it was just like, I couldn't. I was in so much pain. And during this time, this health crisis of mine, I also was going through a life crisis. You know, what did they say? When it rains, it pours. Yeah. I can feel you guys know what that's like. And in that, I had ended a 15-year friendship that had felt like a divorce.
They don't talk about that enough.
I know.
You really don't talk about the fact that, like, friendship breakups are just as bad as, like...
hurt just as much.
Hurt just as much as relationship breakups. And sometimes maybe more, because you get on a deeper level with a friendship.
Yeah, way more vulnerable.
15 years, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. And then, of course, there was also a breakup.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yep, I read it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You think your first love is the love of your life.
Yep, of course. Yeah. Of course.
And
so it was a friendship breakup and
a breakup. And then during that 1 year period, I also had 4 family members die.
Which is insane.
Yeah. And I know you read this part in the book was one of the things that woke me up from this darkness was that I had a family member. He was 32 years old, and before he was dying, and he knew he was dying, and he knew this was the end, and we were kind of saying goodbye. And even though we was just texting, it was the way that we needed to say goodbye. He was like, Cassidy, I don't want to die. I have so much left to live. I really don't want to die, and it just broke my heart. And I remember when he died, I felt this duty to live, not only for myself, but for him and for everybody else that doesn't have a chance to live.
Yeah.
And I remember taking a black notebook, and I wrote down Cassie's healing plan or Cassie's health plan. I can't remember which one. And I remember writing in that notebook and saying, nothing is going to stop me. I'm going to get healthy, and absolutely nothing is going to stop me. And it brought me down the most magical journey of healing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It brought me down this path that where I found love for myself I didn't even know was possible. I found this like life. When we think about health, we think about not being sick. We think about avoiding pain and illness. But rather on my journey, I found that there's a health that we can feel in every single one of ourselves.
Yep.
It's a health that allows us to feel connected to ourselves, connected to life, connected to the people around us.
Yep.
And it's a health that brings us to a higher quality of life. And this is what I call vibrancy, right?
Yeah.
And when I found that, I was like, everyone could feel how changed I was. And people started asking, like, what did you do?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yep. What are you doing?
Exactly.
What cult did you join?
What weird shit are you doing?
Literally.
Exactly. And people kept asking, like, what's that one pill? What's that one diet? What's that one healing modality?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not one thing. It was absolutely every single thing I did towards my health. Every single decision I made was going towards the direction of being the healthiest version of myself.
Yep.
And now I'm in like the healthiest state I've ever been. And it's been an honor to not only feel for myself, but to be able to share that with others. You know, when I first was writing the book, when I was first doing my first coaching programs, I was like, can I transfer this? Like, can someone actually understand what I'm saying, or can this actually change the way that they're, moving? Because I was moved through pain. and how do I jumpstart somebody else? And it's been an honor to see that it actually does.
Yeah, it's incredible. The way you write it, I feel like, right, I said this to you when you walked in, like a lot of these things in here I already do in my daily life, but you have such a beautiful way of storytelling or putting a twist on it that it's like, oh, wow, like it kind of like hit different. And like the embodiment practices that you put at the end of every single chapter, like brilliant. Because when you read books, it's like, okay, now what? But like you literally gave like assignments after every single chapter to like do an embodiment practice to do every single topic that you talked about, which was so important. And I feel like vital for a lot of people to like have an action step to like do something, because you're not going to change shit if you're just reading all these books and not taking action.
It's so like the missing piece, like the tools and the practices. It's like, okay, we can consume all the information that we want to consume and listen to the books and read the books and do the things. But if you're not putting those things into practical application, your mind is just going to be like, oh yeah, that's a great thought. No, you have to like feel what the thing is that you're feeling or learning or relearning or whatever it is. Like you have to put it into practical application. It doesn't just fall on you. You're not just going to read a book and be like, I'm enlightened, ready to go. Like, here we are. No, you have to fucking do something. There's action.
And you know, that's why it was so important for me in the book as well to not only say the what, but it was the how and the why.
I love how you do that a lot. Like, how is it making you feel? And I'm like, oh, shit.
And it's like the intention behind it is so important.
Yeah.
You know, why are you eating healthy? Like, what is the actual intention? Is it to lose weight or like all these the diet culture, right? The things, instead of honoring your body, because your body is speaking to you. Your body is nourishing you. Your body is bringing you to your dreams and your goals. Like, it is the intention behind it. It's the how. It's the why. And you may have heard many of the things in there before, but it's through not even just a mindset shift, but an intention shift.
Yep. I felt that.
Because when we go through all of this action steps, if you're not doing it with intention, you're going to go the wrong place. And a lot of times our intention is kind of, I don't want to say societal focused, but maybe ego driven, and which is not even always a bad thing, right? But when we take a step back and saying, why am I doing this? Why? Like, what's the people are like, oh, wanting to come into some of my programs and eat healthier or exercise. But the first thing is they want to lose weight and they want to, you know, look good. They want to show off that they're exercising and things like that, instead of truly for the fact that their quality of life will change.
Yeah, I don't go to the gym. I don't like wear makeup. Like, I don't do any of that for anybody else. It's for me. It's for me. I eat healthy because I feel nourished by what I take off. I go to the gym because it makes me feel good. The way my body looks is a bonus. You know, it's like, that's always what I say. Like, it's just, it's everything I do is the intention to nourish me for me, and that's it. There's bonuses that come along with living right and living with good intentions.
It's not that, so the thing is like, they're byproducts, not end goals.
Exactly.
The end goal is you want to feel fulfilled. You want to feel happy. The end goal is you want to have, you know, your soul ignited. Yeah. Your end goal is you want to feel connected to others. Why
self-love, all the things. Yeah.
Connected to yourself, because everybody lives so disconnected from themselves that they're like, I'm going to the gym so I can make other people happy with how I look.
Yeah. You talk about that a lot too.
Yeah. Well, that's why I call them.
You had the this one I did today, insane, the mirror thing that you told everyone to do in this. You take a mirror and you go and you sit in the mirror and you look into one eye, because your eyes are the, what is it, doorway
windows
to the soul. Yeah, to the windows to the soul. So you stare at your own eye for like 5 minutes, and I sobbed. I fucking sobbed.
Everybody does.
Don't do that on mushrooms, okay?
Seriously. I don't even look in the mirror when I'm on mushrooms. Don't even look in the. I don't even look in the mirror on
Just
shrooms.
do not do that. On
Yeah,
shrooms.
no.
But
No
yeah,
phones,
no,
no
it is.
mirrors.
I do that. I do that in the mornings. Like once a week, I stare at myself and I'm like, you're a fucking badass. Like, look at all the things that you're doing. Like, look at how
Epic.
powerful you are. I literally, like, I didn't. I'm gonna admit it, guys. I do not read books. I'm the worst at reading books. And I reached out to her and I asked if
She's
she
the
had it
audiobook
on
girl.
The audiobook will be coming soon.
Listen, I'm dyslexic, okay? I'm dyslexic, and reading, like, books are really, it's just always been a struggle. It takes me a way longer time to read it. Like, it's not a skill. Like, I just don't, it's not enjoyable for me. So I'm not going to do something that's not enjoyable for me because I have very limited amount of time. So I'm in the car all the time, so I'm constantly, or I just like have my phone in my bed before bed, or in the morning when I wake up. Like, I have this app, it's called Head Start, and every morning I like listen to this Headway. They do this 15-minute like
It's good. I got it after you told me.
yeah, they do like the cliff notes of a book. So you can listen to a whole book in fucking 15 minutes, and it's like information, like the like important information, and there's like all kinds of tools and practices and things. But yeah, so I'm just saying I did not read the book, and I'm sorry, but Taylor did it for me.
It's
She
fine.
did it.
We get it.
But yeah, the mirror practice is fucking so powerful. And I don't
powerful.
even know, somebody told me to do it a while ago. I've been doing it for like a month or two now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is
I saw like I've stared at myself in the mirror before, right? But I like pick myself apart and I'm like, what the fuck? What's, this acne, these blackheads? Oh my God. Like my eyes are disproportionate. Like what is happening? Like I just pick myself apart. And today, as soon as I read that, because it was at the end of the book and I was like, I had 10 pages left. And then I like went upstairs to my room before I was like getting ready to come here. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to try it.
Yeah.
And I just started sobbing. And I was like, nope, not doing this right now. Like literally like put the mirror away and like fixed my makeup and walked downstairs and was like, what the fuck?
Sometimes I do it in that mirror and it says you're so pretty, like because I have
like
all
unreal.
of those like
Yes.
in the corners, but I'll do it in that one like sometimes like after a really powerful class and like sound bath and stuff.
That's
I'm
so
just, like,
beautiful.
That is
yeah,
beautiful.
because I need
You need the recognition, which is what you said. Nobody's gonna give it to you except for yourself, and that's exactly what she said. You go and you do it. You give yourself the validation. You give yourself the recognition. You tell yourself that you're fucking beautiful. You tell yourself that you're fucking worth it, and that you're capable of doing any of this shit because you will not need to seek it from anyone else.
Nobody else. I don't need it from anyone else.
Not
and,
one single person.
And stepping into that power and being like, I don't fucking need a single soul in this world to pat me on the fucking back anymore. Like, where did we get that idea from? That's like, and I say it to my kids, like, when I'm always like, yeah, I'm so proud of you, but I lead it with, but you should be so proud of yourself. Like changing that language instead of them learning that they need to seek outside validation all the time because that's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
So I'm telling them that I'm proud of them as their parent, but I'm also like, in the interim, like, yeah, I'm proud of you, but like, you should be proud of yourself because like,
I love that.
yeah, and that's like what I'm learning. I'm like, this is fucking powerful because I don't need it from anybody else because I give it to myself and I actually see myself. I see what I'm doing and creating and all of these things. Why the fuck was I going outside for so long?
But then the other
And it
end
never
of it
felt
too.
good. It never felt good from
No.
somebody else. It was always,
No.
I needed more of that. I needed more of that.
Like
I
a
needed
drug.
more people
Yeah.
to tell me how great. Like, why?
Well, you know what? I talk about this in my book too. It felt like a slap in my face when I realized I could give myself that validation and that love.
Like take your power back.
I was like, I could have been doing this the whole time. I was like, oh my God. It felt like a slap in the face. Like I've been, I abandoned myself. I
Limiting
disappointed
yourself.
yeah.
You've been limiting yourself. We talk about everybody else putting these limiting beliefs on us, but no, it was us. It's all us. We are 100% responsible for everything.
Yep.
Everything we take in as truth, everything we take in, we're 100% responsible. And when you fucking realize that, you're like, shoot me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I caused myself so much fucking pain for no reason.
Exactly. And when you, I still like, I warn my clients every time. I'm like, when you start taking responsibility, you realize, you can start seeing how things start to change. And there's a moment where you may be like feeling it kind of brings in that whole of like the self-deprecation, like, oh, I didn't do this for myself. Oh, you know, like it can go into that spiral. But there's a moment of like, damn, I really could have been doing this all the time. Or the reason I'm here is because of me. And that hurts. That's a hard realization.
And then you feel it, and then you have somebody like happened to me, and or like you have a coach, or you have, you know, you hear these messages. It's like, okay, cool. All right, I did it. I'm 37, or, you know, insert your age, however old you are. You still have a lot of life to live.
Yeah.
Like a lot of fucking life to live. And like now you have this lesson, and when you take that radical responsibility for everything that you've done and been doing, and you can change it, the shift that happens and the miracle on the other fucking side of that is so powerful. You're like, actually, it's fine, because maybe I needed those 37 years of those fucking hard lessons, because it wouldn't be this powerful coming out on the other side of it.
And feeling so magical. Like, that's why I you know, people...
Magic.
It
Magic.
feels like magic.
Just like magic. Just like magic. Insert song.
Well, like, it's like when you're a kid, like, just having... It just feels like there's magic everywhere. There's no other way to really truly explain it.
The imagination, all of it. The awe, the wonder, the inspired, the creativity. Like, why we need to go back to that. Like, it's crazy.
And it's everywhere.
And it's infinite.
Everywhere.
It's fucking everywhere. And the more you show up in that energy, the more people in your life that show up for you are in that same magic. And you're like, holy shit, why have I been hanging out with all these low vibrational fucking people for so long? And then your people come in and you're like, they're like filling you up, and they're like mirroring you. And that you're just in this like galactic like space, and like the people are just showing up, and they're like pouring you with love, and you don't feel weird anymore. But you have to be willing to let go of those people. Once you like make that radical shift and you have those low vibrational people in your life, you'll like, either the universe will just fucking get rid of them for you and be like, okay, bye. Like, yeah, that hurts, but like honestly, and then literally like the people are just pouring in and like filling you up, and it's like
Universe provides.
It's unfucking real.
Matches your energy.
I'm still feeling in awe like 4 years later. And I just can't even believe the people and the places and the things that happen when you open yourself up to it, when you become like, I'm so centered in myself. And then everything that you would want before just comes.
Yeah.
And
like a magnet.
It's like easy. Like not even like that much resistance, because you're so willing to believe it and receive it that it's like there's not much pushback or resistance anymore. It's just coming.
Yeah.
Flowing.
Yeah.
That's why it's like fears are going to be fear. It's like living with an open heart, with vulnerability, with authenticity, with integrity just becomes like this breath of fresh air.
Yep.
And
Freedom.
freedom.
Fucking freedom.
And you find like soul family.
Yes.
Like where it fills up your soul.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is. It's not like healing. It's not self-care. It's not work. It's soul care. And when you start taking care of your soul on a deep level and heal your soul and start showing up from the light of your soul, that fucking light is so bright, and everyone starts looking at you. They're like, who is that? Like, what? I want what she has. Like, there is something about her. Like, yes, or him, or whoever, right? And you're just like, it's freedom. And that's what they're seeing. They're seeing that freedom, because they're like, what?
Yeah.
That's possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It
fucking
is.
so possible.
It is.
No matter how much pain you're in, no matter how shitty your story may be, or whatever victim role you want to play in, get out of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, get out of the victim role. Literally.
So many planes
Literally
tonight.
always the perfect fucking time.
Yeah,
to
no,
play
I
Nights
love
Out.
it.
It is.
It's like a sound effect. Like
It adds character.
Yeah.
It adds character.
We're in the city.
But truly, soul family. And also, I love how you said it's soul care. Because when I was talking in the book about embodiment practices, it's not action practices, it's embodiment practices.
Yeah.
And that was an important word for me. I almost, put the embodiment part into the subtitle, but I thought it was more powerful to have it be simpler, keep it simple. But the embodiment of these, not just ideas, but these soul-fulfilling ways to live.
Yep.
It's an embodiment. It's something you can feel in every single one of your cells. Again, it's that health that you can feel. It's not just not feeling pain.
Yeah.
It's an aliveness.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't actually know what their body feels like or know how to embody who they are, or even like a lot of women don't even know what they want or what pleasure wise, like can't even connect to themselves or know how their body wants to move because they feel so much shame and guilt about wanting to move their body in a feminine way and like touch themselves and honor themselves. People are afraid.
Yep.
And I do it in my sound baths. I have like a time where I call in and I'm like, move your body how your body wants to move. Like I can tell you to lean over, touch your toes, like give you like yoga poses, but I'm not in your body. And how often do people take a second and breathe and ask their body how it wants to move?
Aim, you didn't read this book, but you're like literally quoting her. I love it. This is why we needed to have you on, because everything you write about, we preach on this podcast. Like it aligns so perfectly with what we're already speaking into existence all the time. And I'm like dead. You're like literally quoting her. He didn't even read the fucking book.
I know. I was just about to say, that's like exactly.
That's exactly it.
Well, it's funny because in the book, I also talk about how weird I felt. Because when I started to like listen more and more to my intuition, and it was telling me, move your body. And I would be like doing these like weird movements. And I would be like, it alone. And
what is happening? What am I doing?
Oh, what am I doing? And it became so free when I just started to allow it to move. And the craziest things is there was like these dopamine hits or these releases or like somatic, like this is when I learned the somatic importance of
release of energy,
emotions being stuck in the body, and maybe you just need to like shake
it out,
or maybe like you just need to like scream, or maybe you just like you need to move your spine because the fluid around your spine needs to move. Like your body has so much intelligence. You don't need to know what is really going on. You just have to listen to
trust it.
What you're supposed to.
Yes. Trust yourself. You should see me. I'm in here like anytime I'm in here like cleaning or whatever, I'll have like hood rap music. I'll be like straight stripper Amy Gia out here like humping the floor. I'm like, if anybody walks in, I'm like, shaking, like grinding.
I love it.
Yeah, I have all those mirrors in there.
Twerking can be spiritual.
Oh,
it
girl,
is.
I say it all the time. Stripper Amy's my favorite Amy. Bend over, bitch. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
No.
Because when you're in that moment, like, right? Like when we're in those moments and we're dancing and we're so free, it's so pure and genuine.
So pure.
That's why I love
Soul
Stripper
care.
Amy. Because you're so pure and genuine in that form. I'm like, yes, bitch.
It's soul medicine for me, I swear.
Yes.
God,
Well,
and I don't care. I don't have shame about it. I'm
No.
fucking hot. My body's hot. Like, I work hard for my body. Like, I know how to move my body because I'm so in tune to my body. And it took me years to get here, right? Like, when I was stripping before, like, it was definitely not to like what it is now. I say it's a shame that I can't be a stripper right now because I'm so in tune to my fucking body that I'm like, I would fucking cake up. Literally, it's really a shame. But like it's so empowering, and so many people have so many fucking sticks up their ass, and women, they're like, I can't move my body like that,
so much judgment,
and it's self judgment because it's like I don't give a shit if you move your body like that. I'm cheering you on. You want to fucking move your body like that.
Same.
And a lot of other women see that and they feel empowered by seeing other women do that, but then they think about it in themselves and they're like, I cannot shake my ass like that. What?
Literally.
What is going to happen if I do that? Am I going to go to hell? No, you're going to feel a fucking huge ass release, and you're going to feel so good about it. You shook your ass, you twerk, because we can all do it. Like,
Well, it's actually like releasing the lymphatic system.
yes, shaking it out.
Like on a scientific level, like if we're going to bring it back to science, like it's actually working, ladies. So go ahead, twerk after you hear this.
Yeah, well, it like grounds you down. It's root chakra,
Yeah.
sacral chakra work.
Yeah.
Like you're really just and just that in itself, being empowered in your body as a woman. We have been shamed as women for years and been controlled and been told that we can't tap into our feminine energy, and feminine is airy and flowy, and like that connection is so fucking important.
So important. And that's even connects to the chapter dance, which I call body movement like dance. But it doesn't have to mean like you actually dancing. It just means moving your body with joy.
Yeah.
You actually will move your body if you're connected to it, if it's joyful, and if it like you have this connection. Like there's this tool that I give my clients like while they're exercising. Instead of like being like, oh, I gotta push, it's like imagine each one of your cells are saying I love you as you do it. Like
I love all the imagery that you put in here.
Yeah.
That's because I'm like an imagery person. Like I'm very visual. And so like everything you were writing about, it's just, I loved it. It was so good. Like that's what I mean. Like all this stuff that we preach, but she had like a different spin on it and like beautiful ways of writing it and like these like imagery exercises and like this the embodiment, like just all of it.
I wanted to make it practical. Like you can if you're reading it in that moment, you can stop and do that
And
exercise.
see it. Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, like meditation is good for you. Like no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah. Not many people have discipline to meditate.
Yeah.
Literally. So.
Which is why I'm so about the small steps every single day, which I talked about.
Yeah.
And that's how I even shape my whole programs, is for it to be to have support every single day, and to be like just taking one step every single day is all you need to do.
Yeah.
Even as an entrepreneur, like you just take one step every day.
Yep.
That's all you need to do, because the compound effect.
Yeah. Forward
is-
motion.
Yeah. And when we create daily habits, it's game changer.
Yeah.
Game changing. My it's like 10-15 minute like morning routine, literally. Like it's so simple. It's like 5 minutes breath work, 5 minutes meditation, 5 minutes of a card pull where I'm like connected and like I give myself a minute to channel.
Yeah.
And when I start my day that way, literally the messages I get all day long. I'll be calling her and I'll be like, I got this new download. I got it. Like, this is
just
happening.
come.
This is what's happening. This is what's happening,
Yeah,
because
you're
I've
connected.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
But you know what? I talked about this in my book too. It's because it actually neurologically, you are rewiring your brain just from 15 minutes. When you're consistent with it, you actually change the brain structure, the function, and the connectivity within it. It's when you see the fact is, it's a daily habit through, I think like it's 8 to 12 weeks, by at least, and the changes that happen when you keep that consistent daily practice is phenomenal.
It's the same thing with the gym. Like I make sure I go to the gym every Monday, even though I say that and then I didn't go to the gym today because I forgot to pack my gym clothes and I work in Mass and my gym's, but I'm going Wednesday. Or no, I'm going tomorrow morning at 8. But normally I go every Monday. And even in the summertime, like sometimes I'm just going to the gym on Monday, but I'll like I'm going on hikes with my kids, or I'm going swimming, or I'm like staying
Always
active,
active.
or like doing those things. But it's like I know that I have to make sure that I'm consistently at the gym all summer long for at least one of those days, because I have to stay in that routine. Because the second I go longer than a couple weeks without going to the gym, I'll be like, well, I'm not fucking going back.
Yeah. No, it's true.
We are routine beings. So use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we can get too rigid in routines,
Yeah.
and that, we have to like be careful with that, because then you're stuck in the rigid routine that we were talking about on the podcast with Katie, where it's like you're just fucking going to work to do your routine, to do this, to do that, and you're
come
like
home,
caught
be
in the
miserable,
fucking
go to bed,
system,
yeah.
and like so there's like a difference between having a healthy routine that's like making you be better, more empowered. Like I have a lot of people that come to my classes every single week. Like those kinds of routines are good, but really like also making sure that you can like go with the flow, and when things don't happen the way that you may have expected them to, or something gets mixed up in your schedule, that you're just like, oh, okay, this is just like a skip in the beat, and that's okay.
But that comes back to intention.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so deep in intention, because if your intention is to be soul fulfilled for that period of time, maybe you're supposed to, and you listen to your intuition, you're supposed to be somewhere else. You're still in that routine of,
Yeah.
but you're allowing the flow to happen too.
Yeah.
But you're creating the space for that to happen. That's why I think intention is so important. So, because if you're doing routine just to go to work and then come back and like, that's a routine, but that's an unconscious routine.
Yeah.
Conscious routine versus unconscious routine, significantly different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's life too, is like really just like getting into the like consciousness.
Yes.
Right? Like being conscious that everything is happening for you and not to
to
you.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, okay, like this is it. And I say it all the time. I was talking about it tonight in breathwork. It was like, it's like, we just have to remember. Like, it's about remembering, like, how powerful we are.
Yep.
And just, like, knowing that these things are capable and we're,
Yep.
like, capable of change no matter how far down you go. That, like, you're the fucking creator. You're the creator
Yeah.
of your perception to everything. You perceive it how you want to perceive it through your fucking filter. And when you have that realization, you're like, oh God, it's another one of those like fucking. Do I beat myself up for doing the same thing for so long, or do I just realize that I'm the creator now and like create the new story that like that was all a lesson, and now here I get to go and create this whole new reality, and you can literally create a new reality in a day
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can.
in how you perceive things.
And it's so funny because you also talked about in the book, right? Like some of like when we get to the spiritual part, it's like some of these people like aren't willing to believe this because it's too woo woo or it's too that, or you don't want to believe in the magic of everyday life. It's like, but when you're so in your alignment to yourself and to your purpose, none of that other shit even matters. Like, it won't phase you. It won't bother you. Go ahead and think what you want. My fucking life is magical. And like, if you don't want to believe it, girl, that's on you.
Yeah.
But like, I'm living life and I'm living a good life.
Yeah.
So it's so true when you say that. It's like when you're so rooted in what you believe and you are experiencing it for yourself, like none of that shit will phase you. Like, go ahead, say what you need to say. Like, if it's woo woo, then it's woo woo, but it's my woo woo shit that I
Yeah.
love. So it's true.
I haven't like really like shared this like publicly a ton, and the women's circle really like helped me find some freedom and just like sharing it, because I don't know why I'm not sharing it, but I haven't seen my 12-year-old son since February, and it's his choice, and maybe it's not his choice because he's being programmed to believe something different about how I am and how I show up, and that's not my that's not my reality. That's somebody else's reality, and it's just really unfortunate situation. But I know that in every single hard lesson in our lives, right? Like every time I look back at something that like happened that's really fucking hard, I can always see the lesson in it now. Like I can always like look back and be like, okay, that was the lesson in that, and that was the lesson in this, because there's always a lesson. This situation is really out of my control, and my son saved my life, and I know that I love him so deeply, and I know that there is a very valuable lesson in all of this for everyone.
Yep.
And even though some days I'm fucking in fetal position crying because I miss my fucking child so much, because it's my fucking child, that as long as I keep showing up, standing in my truth, knowing who I am, because nobody's going to fucking tell me differently than who I am and who my heart is, that I know one day, even if I have to wait a long time, one day all the truths are going to be revealed.
Exactly.
Yep.
And everything is going to be exposed, and he's going to see that no matter what, through it all, I fought and did what I had to do and
Tried your hardest.
tried my hardest, and I'm not going to, as a spiritual woman, I choose to know that we choose our path before we get here.
Yep.
And he chose me in the beginning, and he's not choosing me right now, and I'm okay with the fact that he's not choosing me, because it just is what it is, and there is a lesson, and it fucking breaks my heart. But I also am not going to allow this situation to stop me from living my life.
Yep.
And stop me from living the life of taking care of my other children that I have to take care of, because I have 4 other ones that I'm taking care of. It's not going to stop me from running the nonprofit that I run. It's not going to stop me from running this business that I run, even though people think that it should be. right? Like that's
Yeah.
like, oh, how are you doing those things? Or like, how are you showing up like
Yeah.
this? Yeah, I have no other fucking choice. What do you want me to do? You want me to be crying in my bed all fucking day long because there's this situation that's literally out of my fucking control?
Yeah.
That's what I talk about, an unshakable foundation.
Yes.
When you have unshakable faith that I'm in this, I don't see why right now. But I know, the more painful it is,
Yeah.
the more gifts I'm going to receive.
Yeah.
Oof.
Powerful. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a fact.
powerful.
And it's happening.
Yeah.
It's like really unfortunate that through this like very deep pain, and I know my son's in pain. I know he's in pain.
Yeah.
I know for a fucking fact that he is in pain. And that is one of the hardest things to sit with. But also, there's nothing I can do more than I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm just staying, and I say I'm unshakable in my fucking truth.
But in this, right? Like in this happening, I feel like this has literally shaped you into this powerful human being next to me. Like you stepped into your power when this happened and fighting this person to get your son back. Like you were like, nah, not fucking doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And it's been beautiful to witness. And I do know Gav will come back, you know?
Yeah.
I know for a fact.
Yeah. And I said it, even if when he's 25, like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, there's no expectations. There's no nothing. Eventually he's gonna know, because he's gonna be old enough to really understand what
see,
happened.
to really
and to
see.
see.
Because
And
he
that's
already
okay.
sees.
Yeah.
He already sees. He just,
does.
Yeah.
he needs time.
But it's the fact that you have that power, that core. Most people are missing that.
Yeah.
They think they don't have a core. Everyone has this unshakable foundation. They have this core, but they're afraid to tap into it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I talked about this in the book. It's so much easier to say you're a victim.
Yes.
And I totally did that.
Yeah.
I was like, please help me. You know, like it becomes easier, or it again comes with the, what is it called when you get attention, even though it's for a bad thing, the negative intention. You're still getting attention,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And when you have this unshakable faith in this core, you're immovable. You don't need the validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it from yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
You get it from yourself in your actions and how you choose to show up every day, because you choose to, no matter what, fight for who you are and what you fucking believe in. No matter what, unshakable. And that unshakable, when you tap into that core of yourself, you get that power from everything
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
And eventually, when you have that unshakable truth too, all the people that are using their own energy to talk bad about you, you don't realize that negative energy is really fucking powerful. And when you can transmute that energy into fucking power, I'm like, watch out, world, because it's about to pop off. I'm popping off because all y'all want to be talking about me for no reason. It's so weird. The shit I hear about myself is actually really strange.
It's insane.
Like, some of the rumors that come back
I'm
at
like,
me.
dude, I see you multiple times a week. I talk to you every day. I think I would know if some of this shit was happening.
Like, it's honestly wild that people...
It's because you stepped into your power, and it's so intimidating to people. It truly is, because you were unfuckwithable before all this. Now you're really unfuckwithable. Seriously.
It's just like, I'm like, wow, I be living a wild life out here in your stories.
Literally.
Like a really wild
Well,
one.
it
And
also
I'm like,
means you're doing something that's worth someone
Yeah.
saying something.
Exactly.
I remember I got like my first like hateful comment, and I was like, this is a love light type of, like, you're just like, I couldn't understand it.
Weird.
But then I was like, wait, I got my first hater.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited.
I got my first hater.
I'm saying something that's worth, like, that's worth going against. That's I'm having a conversation that's worth, you know, I'm being bold enough.
Being
I'm
talked
being
about.
brave enough.
Being talked about.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what it is. We're doing weird shit that is soul fulfilling, and people can't understand it. They think we're fucking delusional or on drugs or insane.
Well, what's gotten kind of weird is I kind of get excited now when I'm going through really bad trials and tribulations, because I'm like, the gifts are about to be good. Like the harder
So
it is.
true. It's so true. You got to shift your mindset.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, because it always is that. And that's what I'm saying. When we look back at these situations, when we're like
In the
having these
thick of
really
it.
in the thick of it, you can't feel it when you're in the thick of it. But
Yeah.
when you look back, you're like, holy shit, that was an upgrade. Holy shit, that was an upgrade. Holy shit, fucking upgrade. Ching, ching. Like, and it's just like happening. And then you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, exactly. When you're in it, and I'm like, you know, having these bad days, because that's the other thing. Like, it's okay to not be okay. That's the other people are like,
Yes.
oh, I can't have a bad day. I can't have a bad week. Like, I can't, like, no, fucking be depressed. Be sad. The fucking state of the world is really fucked up, and people are really fucked up, and people want to hurt people because hurt people hurt people. But the other side of it, when you can, like, find your power and realize, because also when you look back, you realize you're the only one that picked yourself fucking up.
Yeah.
Nobody came and fucking saved you.
Yeah.
You did it. You showed up. You made a change. You did it.
Yeah.
Nobody can fucking save you. There isn't a fucking Captain Save-A-Ho out there. There really isn't. You're it. You're the
You're
Save-A-Ho.
You're literally like quoting my book.
I know. I'm literally like dead over here. I'm like enrichment, embodiment, evolution of the emotions. Like it's just all, but it's because it's truth. And that's why you're here. Alignment. Like this is the shit we already preach about. It's so good. And like, again, I know I keep saying it, but you have a beautiful spin on it of the shit that we hear a lot, right? Like it's,
Well, what I know I have a gift of is breaking something down to someone who doesn't, like, isn't always a part of the world. Even though, like, breaking down things that may feel ethereal, I can make it 3D.
yeah.
I can make it understandable. I can make it digestible. I can make it actionable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You did a really good job of that for sure in this book.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
We
We
a
all
lot of
start
people
somewhere.
don't know where to
start.
start.
Because it is overwhelming. It really is. When you're like going through it and you're like, okay, what do I need to do? All these things I need to do. You tell me you have to do all these things. But once you start to feel what they're doing for you, it's no longer like, okay, I have to do these things. It's like, I can't fucking wait to do these things. Yeah. Like, I get to do this shit. This is like my life. Like, what?
Yeah, and I mean, I've been doing this for 12 years. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like started with just like 12-step, and then like 12-step started to like turn into like meditation and like yoga trainings and like, you know, and it just like evolved.
The spiritual evolution.
Like, it doesn't just like, you're not just going to like wake up one day and be like, Amy said I could step into my fucking power, so I'm going to step into my power. It's like, no, like it takes a lot of like
time.
this and like unraveling and really like figuring it out and feeling all the shit.
hard
how
life
it-
lessons.
Yeah, and just like, yeah, it's not, it didn't just happen overnight for you, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it might have been an accelerated process of some of the when there is a moment that things change.
Yeah.
I really do believe that.
Yeah.
But there was a process of evolution.
And again, you taking action, you showing up for you, you doing the things for you. Because again, like nobody's coming out here to save us or do it for us. Like we're doing these things. We're embodying all these practices. We are showing up for ourselves so that we
Yeah.
can show up for others. It's like, it's different when you, again, your intention is for the collective.
It's so powerful. The intention piece is.
Yeah.
I could talk about like for like 5 or 6 hours or just
I love
on
it.
the fact of how important intention is. Whatever you're doing, whether
Yeah.
it be for your health, for your business, for anything.
So you do, so tell us a little bit about what you do outside of, you know, writing books.
Well, I have my own coaching business where
that.
I do a year-long program that's actually based on the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it has like daily support. Monday through Thursday, we have a live embodiment practice. So it's usually meditation or breath work or something for 15 minutes live every single day, Monday through Thursday. And then we go into each of the vibrancy codes, and we go in each month. We focus on a vibrancy code.
I love that.
And it's again about embodiment. I could give you the book, and I could gift it to you, right? I could give you all the information, But unless you put yourself in accountability, in
Exactly.
community,
Exactly.
and you start to like make that decision and invest in it,
Yep.
that's when I see like
Massive results.
massive results. And I wanted to create something. A lot of coaching programs, they're not a year long. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
but no, I love that longevity.
And what I, you know, again, when you're talking about this process of evolution, I love bringing people through it in a year long, because imagine what you can do in a year if you're fully supported.
I know.
Yeah.
Epic shit.
Epic. And so it's been mind blowing and soul fulfilling and just really beautiful to be able to hold this space. That's my main program. And there's some other programs that will be coming out maybe soon. So
Nice.
yeah, things like that are happening, but many more projects. And I also do speaking, or, you know, in different countries and things like that, and workshops in different countries, which has been really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But mostly it's coaching, and then my group program that I really focus on, which has been a real honor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
amazing.
so beautiful. It's like community, connection, accountability. Those are like the, you know, community, connection, accountability.
I'm so grateful. My bestie just moved in. We're like helping her get on her feet. And she's like been my little accountability partner. Every morning we get up and do yoga now and Pilates outside of my deck.
I love that.
So great. It's so great.
And when you do it in a space, like what's really important for me is creating the space of vulnerability and authenticity, which I know you guys totally create this in your circles, right? It's really powerful when it's the accountability, but accountability with love.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've had, like, you know, the accountability with, like, no, you just gotta fucking do it. Like, you know what I mean? And then if you don't, there's, like, shame and guilt. And then if you held that space of accountability instead of just, like, having forgiveness and just being like, I love you either way, but, like, you know, you should just want to do this for yourself. It's not for me. It's, like, you should, like, it's self-esteem building acts. It's those little things when, like, you do things anyway when you don't want to do them, and you do them anyway because you know that you're being accountable to yourself.
Yeah.
Because it goes all back to yourself. Like, we can cheer you on and we can, like, hype you up and we can be your coach and do all this stuff, but it's until you start doing those small self-esteem building acts and having accountability for yourself and just not wanting to disappoint yourself. Is where the huge shifts happen. Because, like, we have these people and these, like, things and situations where we have these communities, and it's so beautiful to have somebody, like, cheering you on and knowing. But, again, the shift. You can hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And it's not about the quick fix.
No.
It's about...
There is no fix.
Yeah.
It's about that true full body investment.
Yeah, embodiment.
Yeah.
And when we start thinking that there's a quick fix or the fix, like, that insinuates that we're broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not broken.
Instead of evolving and growing and learning and playing.
That's the most beautiful thing about being a human being is evolving.
Yes.
Which, again, not one way works for everyone. We evolve and we move on from certain things that once worked for us.
How much the human race has evolved just in, like...
I know.
What, like... How long ago was it that we had,
Dude,
like,
I was
horse and
watching-
carriages?
Yeah,
Like,
I was watching
that long
fucking.
ago.
I was literally watching Unknown this morning, the cosmic microscope that they made, NASA made last year, and I was fucking sobbing because I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, we made a fucking telescope that traveled 700 billion light years away and took fucking images, and we were able to see them. And I was like fucking sobbing because I was like, I am a light being. This is where I fucking came from. What the fuck is happening? Like, literally just sobbing. I'm like, I saw this. I swear. Like, I was there. Like, oh my God, just like epic shit. Like, literally like sobbing. And I'm like, this is the evolution of our they're literally talking about planets that might be, like, livable. Like, they found CO2 on some planets. If they could find CO2, they could find oxygen. If they found fucking water, can you imagine if they found water on a planet? There's, like, living species on a fucking planet. Like,
Of course.
it's epic shit happening. And that's what I just think about all the time. It's like, when something crazy happens in the world, right? I don't watch the fucking news, but if I see it on my timeline, like if I'm scrolling and something pops up, I just do not even fucking feed into any of it because I'm like, first of all, I believe deep in my soul, like, again, it's probably going to sound crazy some, I'm divinely protected. I know that for a fucking fact. I'm divinely protected. I know the people around me are divinely protected because we are all like, you know, people who are living it and in it and in this embodiment, like I know for a fact we are divinely protected. So I don't even worry about any of that shit. And also the rate that we are evolving and growing, I'm just like, yo, this shit isn't even gonna matter in like 2 fucking years. Like we're gonna look back at this and be like, what? Like we were all freaking out over what?
Yeah.
And
We're the pioneers.
Yeah, and like
we're gonna be
science.
like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
We're
Yeah,
literally
catching up.
the pioneers of the awakening consciousness. Truly. Like truly. And the shit that I saw this morning on like, I was just like sobbing, like if we could go to a different planet and live on a different fucking planet, are you kidding? Like epic shit. Like you never know.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what we're gonna be around for. You don't know what's gonna happen in 10 years. You don't know what's gonna happen in 20 years. I don't know what's gonna happen when my kids are my age, 28 and 30, and like, what's the world gonna look like then? Are we gonna be traveling to other planets? Are we gonna be doing crazy shit? Like what?
Airplanes weren't even a thing like,
I know.
100 and something years
That's
ago?
what I am saying. We are meant to evolve. Like I couldn't even comprehend the fact that they were literally saying that this was 700 billion light years away. 700 billion. Like, I'm sorry, what? There's been 700 billion lifetimes since then? Like, what? It was just like mind-blowing. Like truly mind-blowing and beautiful. And just like also, again, fact that there is a divine something out there, source that has created us. So what are we...
It's also crazy too, is we actually aren't even promised tomorrow. So when we future trip, we're
Exactly.
actually, we just like stay right here. Where I had a conversation about this last night. I've been future tripping, like different situations, and I'm like, you know what? Where are my feet at? What's happening right now?
Yeah, what
like
is
what do I
happening right
have
here today?
control over?
Yeah.
Right now. And right now, even though shit is wild and weird and crazy, I'm fucking happy.
Yeah.
And
it's
even
beautiful.
though I have things in my life that like people from the outside would be like, how are you happy through this? Yeah, I feel it when I need to feel it, but I'm also really allowed to experience joy and happiness and love and like, I fucking deserve that.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful to even feel that, because I don't know if I've ever felt that I deserve that in my life through everything that I did, all the fucked up shit that I did. And I mean, I was doing fucked up shit 6 months ago. So I'm not going to like sit here and act like I'm fucking, you know, some high priestess over here just, you know, shining my light. But, you know, the work that I've done this past 6 months has been fucking
Epic.
yeah. Fucking epic. I was gonna say like heavy or say something bad, but
No, it's been epic.
No, because I've been crying, and I'm like, I've been crying and I've been screaming and I've been suicidal and I've
Which
been
makes
this
it
and I've been
epic. Because look at you now.
yeah. Because now I'm like, well, holy shit.
Upgrade.
Upgrade. Upgrade. Ching, ching. Upgrade. And I feel like I'm getting an upgrade almost on a daily basis.
I know.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Like when you like really get in the flow of it and you're like really in the thick of it and you're like really doing these things, I'm literally like
A new person
A
every
super
day.
attractor. You're a super attractor. You turn
Yeah.
into a super attractor, and we just attract everything that is around us. It is wild. Honestly, I could go on for hours about this shit because it is something that I am unshakable with. And like, you cannot convince me otherwise that there is not magic in this fucking universe. You cannot.
Magic.
You cannot.
so magical.
So magical.
It
So-
really is. And if you're not experiencing it, I'm really sorry for you. And don't think it's not unattainable for you, because it's
Yes.
attainable for every single human being.
I'm actually excited for you if you haven't felt it, because now you get to
Yeah,
explore
now you get
it.
to.
You get to discover
Yeah.
it. There's nothing like when you first begin to experience the magic.
I know.
It's like, this can be life?
Yeah, what is happening? Did I do that? Did I do that? Did I create this? Did I make this happen? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And
This
it
is
all
happening.
starts with curiosity.
Yeah.
I always say it when like the people come in for breath work or like sound baths and stuff. I'm always like, whatever that thing is, whatever that thing, like, because we all have shit, right?
Yep.
Like there's always a reason why people walk through this door. Like you're not
Yeah.
you're not coming to a healing center to do like weird shit and like
Yeah.
breathe and scream and listen to me play a fucking 6-foot gong. Like you're not doing that because your life is thriving. Right? Like,
Or you could be, and it could be maintenance.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Maintenance.
but no, seriously.
yeah. But
You're coming here for a
you're
reason.
coming here for a reason. And
You're
like,
seeking.
tune into that. You're seeking something. You were curious about something, like, and you're curious about the magic.
Yeah.
And like, and there's no shame in that, nor like,
None.
and stop feeling weird about it, and like, stop thinking that people are gonna judge you because you're like wanting to like go down this path. Earth is waking us up.
You know what's admirable? People who do go down that path.
Yeah.
People who go against the grain. People who do speak up and are like, no, I'm doing this thing, and actually it works, and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah,
That's admirable.
it is.
It's so funny because when you start to immerse yourself in this space, you think there is like everyone's doing it because you immerse yourself so much in Soul Tribe that you're like, yeah, of course everybody feels the magic, you know.
Yeah. But really, like, it's a small little little circle.
It's so unfortunate, but I'm like ready. I'm ready to scream it from the fucking mountaintops.
Yeah.
I'm ready to put myself out there, like, because everybody needs to know that no matter how fucking far down you go, no matter how fucking far down you go, this life is accessible for you.
Anybody.
Child molesters, fucking rapists, fucking bottom of the barrel,
Scum
the
of the
people,
earth.
scum of the earth. Like, you are capable, you are loved, and you can fucking change. And it's when those people change, it's when people like us change, that we make the biggest fucking impact. Because it's like,
Ripple.
yo, I was a homeless heroin addict, like living on the streets, living in park benches 13 years ago. Like, that's not that fucking long ago.
Yeah.
Like, so far down the fucking bottom of the barrel. And look at me now.
Literally walking dead. You were just walking dead.
But now you are walking magic.
Yeah. Just
Walking,
like magic. I just keep thinking of that song. Just like magic.
It's so fucking beautiful. And, like, I carry no shame for that.
No.
I carry no shame for that. And it's prepped me to continue to go to the darkest places.
Yes.
Because I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
You're not going to scare me. You're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to tell me differently. You're not going to say something to me that I'm going to look at you and be like, oh, you're not fixable.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
You're
you
too
did
much.
too much.
Yeah.
No.
Never.
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 Everybody has this light within. Everybody is we love to in this society, it loves to judge and separate and like all
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
But really, truly, every single person
We are
is
one.
worthy,
I know.
is enough. And no matter how far down you go, you can always be redeemed.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
So I love the work that you guys do and like these conversations you guys have. It's
It's
real
so
ones.
important. It's so
Yeah.
important. It's so important. Well, on that note, we are so appreciative that you've been here. If there's one thing that our listeners could take away from this, like one important thing that you just would love, love, love for everyone to hear, what would it be?
Oof. Well, I usually have one thing that I say, but I feel like something else is coming through because of the
Okay.
magic of this space. But I would say follow your magic. And even if you don't know what that is, then ask, like, where is my magic? Where can I find that magic?
And the answers will come.
And the answers will always come.
And just trust it, because that was like one of my biggest things that I had. Like, I would hear it and I would be like, no, it's not that. Right? Like, you do. You're like, wait, well, who was that from? Like, was that me? Like, what? Like,
Literally.
you're like limiting beliefs in your self-judgment
Yep.
and your programming comes in. No, if you sit quiet, even for 5 minutes, you just sit quiet. Even if your mind's going, and journal or just say it, like, what's my magic? What's my purpose? What, you will get it. You will get the very clear, direct message, and trust it. And even if it's baby steps. Even if it's baby steps towards that on a daily basis, towards you finding that, whatever that is, your gift. Every single person has a gift that they need to share with the world.
Yeah.
We all have it.
Yep.
And it's our job and our responsibility in this lifetime to figure it out so we can share that in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So beautiful.
I almost said that too.
It's so beautiful. Seriously, it could just make me cry. And like how epic that we get to experience it. And I'm so grateful for like my individual human experience, truly.
Yeah.
And not only experience it, but really fucking experience it and not give a fuck what anybody thinks.
Live it. Yes.
Embody it.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking shake your ass, bitch.
All right.
If there's one thing that you take home today, you go in that mirror and you fucking twerk.
You twerk.
Yes.
You twerk it out. Twerk.
Absolutely.
All right.
Shake that shit out, baby.
End us out, Aim.
All
Call
right,
us out.
One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Really expel all the energy, belly button into spine, let it go. And then inhale, lift up, rise up, fill up. Feel your expansion, feel your power. And then just let that shit go.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassidy.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to what we have to say. It means the world. As always, we want to end this episode by reminding you that we are not medical professionals and we are not giving any type of medical advice. We are simply sharing our experience and solutions.
We are here with the intentions of reminding you that you are never alone and that everyone's healing journey is unique to the individual. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms to stay updated. Stay well, Sacred Rebels. See you next time.